Yeah, guys, no, let me remove my cell phone number here. Yeah, guys, we're on activity 67. We've already covered number 1 and 2. So yeah, let us move on number 3. But before we move on number 3, for the benefit of those who are not there, we agreed that the statement is false because of this statement. Isoquant output indicates variables level that can be produced with a variable combination. So it's have to be the same output. Ne? When it comes to this one, we agree that the statement is true. Yeah, the only yeah, it's true. Nothing's wrong. But in your tutorial question, there was an error. So yeah. Okay. Something is disturbing me here. Yeah, guys, then let's move on number 3. A decrease in the marginal rate of technical substitution for labor and capital is due to a situation where less labor and more capital are utilized. So let us go back to the formula, guys. When we are calculating the MRTS, you're gonna say, okay, I'm gonna say, guys, these people keep on joining, so I have to admit them. So yeah. So yeah, guys, when I say, yeah, I was saying, when I calculating the slope, when I say marginal output of labor, as it is indicated, the divided by marginal output of capital. So this is how I calculate the slope. So let us look at this information. Here they are saying a decrease in the marginal rate of technical substitution is due to a situation where less labor and more capital are utilized. So guys, here you have to understand thing that we call a law of diminishing return. What is a law of diminishing return? So a law of diminishing return is tell us that if we keep on employing a certain variables, the output is tend to decrease. The same thing, or we are applying the same approach from the law of diminishing marginal output or marginal or law of diminishing marginal output. Or yeah. So guys, let's have a look here. So if they say they are utilizing more of labor than capital, which means marginal output of labor will be less and marginal output of capital will be more. So in this case, which means we'll be dividing the less number with the bigger number. So what happens if I'm dividing a bigger number with a less number? So there's something it's increasing, or you get the more. For example, let's just say 50 divided by 20 is 2.5. Then 20 divided by 50 is 0.4. So let us approach this question. Guys, these people keep on joining. And so here they are saying an increase in the marginal rate of technical substitution is due to a situation where less labor and more capital are utilized. So this statement, let's look at the statement. So if less labor is employed, ne? If less labor is employed, which means marginal output of labor will be more. Then if more capital are utilized or employed, the marginal output of capital will be less, which means there will be an increase in the marginal rate of technical substitution. So when it comes to number 3, we disagree. Hopeful people, they understand what I'm trying to explain. Because guys, this theory is very important.
Sure, sir.
Sure.
Can you please explain what you're saying about this number 3 before you disagree?
Okay.
Your first statement, yeah.
Okay. Now let us consider this approach. Marginal. Okay, the law of diminishing return. What is the law of diminishing return? The law of diminishing return is tell us that if we keep on employing more and more units of a certain variable, the return, it intends to decrease. This is a law of diminishing return. So guys, this is the formula to calculate the marginal rate of technical substitution. So when you are calculating the marginal rate of technical substitution, you take the marginal output of labor divided by the marginal output of capital. So what I'm saying, as a business, if we employ more units of labor, the marginal output of labor will decrease. Why? Because of this law of diminishing return. What is a law of diminishing return? Law of diminishing return is tell us that if we keep on employing more units on a certain variable, the output are the result or is the final product, it intends to decrease. So when it comes to here, a decrease in the marginal rate of technical substitution is due to a situation where less labor and more capital are utilized. Let's have a look here. What I'm saying, if we employ less labor, our marginal output will be more because we employed less, but our marginal output for capital will be less because we employed more. Remember the law. The more we keep on employing more unit or using more unit, the output intends to decrease. So in this case, our marginal output of labor will be higher than marginal output of capital, of which our MTRS will increase, they won't decrease. In other words, will be higher because we'll be dividing the lesser number from the bigger number. Let's have an example. Let's say our marginal output of labor is 50, then our marginal output of capital is 25. You see, the total answer is 2. So now let us apply this information. Let's say we employ less of labor, which means a marginal output of labor will increase maybe up to 60. Then we employ more of capital. The law says if we keep on employing more things, marginal output decrease. Maybe our output will decrease to 20. As you can see now, our MTRS is 3. It increased, so it's not decreasing. So that's why the statement is false. Do you understand?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Perfect. Let us move on. Number 4. Number 4, since this thing is so here we have already covered this one, because we said if we employ less labor and more capital, our MTRS it's increasing. So here we agree. So this one it agrees. If I've already covered this one. Now let us move on number 5. In number 5, assume an isoquant map. Higher isoquant are indicative of higher output level. Yes, guys, when isoquant are higher, which means our output or our file, which means the number of output that we are producing, they are higher. So this one, it's a theory based, yeah. So yeah, I have to know it. So here, number 5, agree. Let me admit this one. Admit all. Yeah, then number 5, agree. And guys, if you don't understand, feel free to ask. The convex shape of an isoquant is due to the law of increasing marginal return. No, the convex shape of an isoquant is due to the law of diminishing return, not to the law of increasing marginal return. It's a diminishing return. So this one is disagree. Let me repeat again. The convex shape of an isoquant is due to the law of diminishing return, not to the law of increasing marginal return. Hopefully, guys are following. Rectangular isoquant are indicative of inputs that are utilized in a fixed ratios. Yes, guys. Wait. Let me put this on the other side. Yes, guys. I'm so sorry. Rectangular isoquant are indicative of inputs that are utilized in a fixed ratios. Yes, guys, remember isoquant. So, guys, isoquant are convex because of the law of diminishing return. We've already covered that. But when production requires the fixed input ratios, isoquant will be rectangular. Let me repeat this. Guys, we agreed that isoquant are convex because of a law of diminishing return. Then, when the production requires the fixed input ratio, the example of fixed input ratio, here it includes maybe rent. So input ratios in fixed input ratio isoquant will be rectangular. So you have to know this theory again. So number 7, it's agree. Again, guys, if you don't understand, feel free to ask. I'm here for you. So let's go on number 8. The slope of an isoquant curve is the price of capital divided by the price of labor. Guys, when we are talking about the slope of an isoquant, it has to be the price of capital divided by the price. No, it has to be the price of labor divided by the price of capital. So this thing, it makes the statement false. So number 8, it disagree. Let's go number 9. The most efficient input combination is such that marginal output of labor divided by the marginal output of capital must be equal to the price of labor divided by the price of capital. This one is simple and straightforward. Here, guys, we are concerned about the equilibrium. What is the equilibrium? Equilibrium is where two things are equal or they intersect. So here it's a big agree. Let's go on number 10. The fact that 20% increase in the input combination. Inputs, guys, are those resources that we are used in the production process. But when it comes to output, is the result or is the final product. So let's look at this statement. The fact that a 20% increase in input combination resulted in a 50% increase in output is clear indication of increasing return to scale. Yes, guys, what is happening here, which means we are investing less of input, which means less of resources, but we yield more or higher output. So this one is tell us that we are increasing the return to scale. So this one it's agree. Let's say we're investing maybe 20% of our input and we yield the 20% of output. So in this case, we have a constant return scale because our input is equal to output. It's a constant return scale. But in this case, our outputs are higher than our input. So it's an increasing return to scale. If there's a decreasing return to scale, which means we are investing more our input, but our output is less. Let's go on number 11. Decreasing return scale refers to a situation where a doubling of the output level require more than doubling of the input combination level. Yes, in this case, guys, we need more and more of input in order to reach a certain output. In this case, it's decreasing. If it's decreasing, guys, remember, our input is greater than our output. So this one is a decreasing return to scale. Any questions before we move on activity 68? Any questions? Any questions? Any questions, guys?
No questions.
No questions. Perfect. Here we are on activity 68. Assume that the most cost input combination of a certain output level occurs where marginal rate of technical substitution is equal to 4. The production budget is 2,000 and the maximum affordable amount of capital is 20 capital hours. Complete the following table. Okay, guys, before we continue with activity 68, let me clarify something. If it happens that this thing is shut down, because I know it will shut down in after 40 minutes. So we'll rejoin again using the same link. Okay, done. So guys, here, what is happening? You have to pay around formulas. Ne? So where is formulas? I wrote it somewhere here. Guys, how do you determine the marginal rate of technical substitution? The price of labor divided by the price of capital. Ne? Or if I say budget, my budget divided by the price of capital, or price of labor, or price of labor. So guys, you need, here I meant to say you need to play around with these formulas. So it's my error, this thing, yeah. So let's go back here. We are here, guys. So if I say budget, my budget divided by the price of capital, or the price of labor, I can get my MTRS. Or if I can say the price of capital, of labor divided by the price of capital, I can get my MTRS. So now let's have a look here. Let me try to write something maybe here. So that you can understand. If I say my budget, wait, where is this thing? Okay, here. If I say my budget divided by the price of labor, or let me say, or the price of capital. Let me admit this one. For the price of capital, I would get the number. I would get the number of units employed. I would get the number of units employed. If I say my budget divided by the price of either capital or labor, I would get the number of units employed. If I divide my budget with the price of capital, I would get the number of units or hours for capital employed. Ne? So admit all. So now let's have a look here. So in this case, ne, they are looking for the price of capital in rand. Ne? So let's try to play around with these formulas. What do I have in this case? So now I have my budget. My budget is how much? Is 2,000 divided by price of capital divided by price of capital. This one is give me how many hours of capital employed is 20 hours. It's 20 hours. So here to make it is let me say divided by 1. Ne? So here on my other side, I have 2,000 divided by PC, which gives me 20 hours. So this one is just a number from mathematics. Those who did math, you know. So now let us try to so now we are looking for PC. Ne? So what are you going to do? I would say 2,000 I'm cross multiplying 2000 times 1. Give me 2000. Then PC times 20 hours is giving me how much? 20 hours. So here divided by 20 hours. 2000 divided by 20 hours is giving me my PC. Because here, guys, if I say PC times 20 hours, it's giving me 20 PC. Then I divide by 20 on both sides. So if I say 20 divided by 20, it's giving me 0. Then if I say, which means on this side I will left with PC. So my PC would be equal to 2000 divided by 20, which is giving me how much? Yo, people keep on joining, which is giving me how much? 100 rand. So this calculation is come here. This is a derivative of this calculation. So basically, I would say 2000 divided by 20 hours, of which is giving me how much? 100 rand. Then when it's come to the price of labor in rent, again here we are using your formula. So when I say when I have my MTRS, okay, so let me do it like that. So guys, if my MTRS is equal to the price of labor divided by the price of capital. So in this case, I have my MTRS as 4, which was derived by taking the price of labor. In this case, I don't have the price of labor divided by the price of capital. What is the price of capital? I've already covered that. Price of capital is 100 rand. Even here, guys, you are doing the same thing. So here, which means it should be divided by 1. So if I say, so here I would say 4 times PC, I would get, okay, I would say, if I say 1 times PL, yeah, here PL times 1, I would get, it should be equal to PL as it is. Then when I say 4 times 100, it gives me how much? 400. So these calculations is come here. 4 times 100 is equal to 400. 400, the price of labor. Any questions, guys?
No, sir.
Perfect. Then the maximum affordable unit of labor. The maximum affordable unit of labor. So even here, guys, we are applying the very same formula. So here, just to make it short. So if I have a budget here, let's first let's just focus on capital. Our budget was 2000, and the price of labor, it's how much? It's 100 rand. So it gives us 20 hours affordable 20 hours affordable hours. So here you're gonna say budget of 2000 divided by the price of labor, of which is give you 5. So it's all about the application of the formulas. So yeah, then I think we are done. Activities 69 to 72 are based on the following table and the information. This activity deal with the minimum cost combination that satisfy the conditions. Marginal output of capital divided by the price of capital equal to the marginal output of labor divided by the price of labor. And our budget line is equal to the price of capital times the number of units employed by the price of labor times the number of units or hours employed. It's just an information. So let's have a look here. Maximum affordable units of capital is 20 units. The price of labor, 10 Rand per unit of labor. Marginal rate of technical substitution at equilibrium is equal to 2. Calculate the following. Calculate the price of capital in rent. Guys, we have already covered this. We are looking for the price of capital in rent. So here we have a rate. So here we have a rate MTRS. If I say price of labor divided by the price of capital, I get my MTRS. So even guys here, you take the price. Here we have the price of labor, of which is 10 Rand. Then when I say the price, of labor, 10 divided by the slope is give me the price of capital as 5 Rand. This thing is similar or the same to this one, guys. We are applying the same procedure. So I'm not gonna do this derivation again. So yeah. Then calculate the production budget in rents. Calculate the production budget in rent. Even here, guys, we are playing around with formulas. So 5 Rand is the price of capital times how many affordable units of capital? 200. So what I'm going to do is to take the number of units times the price per unit. So 5 times 200 is give you how much? 1,000. Any questions, guys, before I move on? Now we are here, activity 7. You see this one, it's highlighted in yellow. The reason why I highlighted this in yellow is because when we are filling this table, we are focused on these numbers: marginal output of capital and marginal output of labor. Here is it, divided by the price of capital and the price of labor. So let us say the price of capital, it is calculated above as how much? As 5 Rand. Let me put it here. The price of labor we're given is equal to how much? 10 Rand. Those who may be confused, the price of labor is 10 Rand. Here we are given, guys, the price of capital. Here we have calculated it right now. So I need one student to unmute his or her mic and give me all the answers here. Then I'll be confirming. So what are you going to do here? You're gonna take the marginal output of capital. In this case, it's 80 for this line, divided by the price of capital, of which is 5 Rand, and give me the cost of producing an additional unit. I'm waiting. Anyone can unmute the mic and give me the answer. Guys, I'm sure you have attempted the work before, so please give me your answers. Hello? Guys, please give me the answers for these questions. I want to confirm if guys you understand. I will need one student, then they would give me the whole answers. Only one. Any volunteer?
The first one is 16,
The first one is 16,
14,
14,
12,
12,
10,
10,
8,
8,
6, and 4.
6, and 400% correct on this side. When it comes to this side, hello. Farmer earphone.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Number one, it's 8.
Number one, it's 8. So here it's 8, né?
Yes.
Wait, let's just try to confirm. So what was your calculation?
I said 80 divided by 10.
80 divided by 10. Okay, I can see your mistake. Now the marginal output of labor, you can see that it
Oh, 40. It's
it's
40.
né?
Oh,
Yeah, so please try to
yes.
verify your calculations.
So it's 40 divided by 10.
So
And then I have 4.
4, and then
5,
5, and then
6,
and
7,
then 7, and then
8,
8,
9,
9, 10. 100% correct. Thank you, guys. Name. So you are done with this table. Hopefully everyone understand what's going on. Yeah? Okay. So activity 71. Yes. Say sure.
I didn't understand it. How do you get the answers?
Okay. I will do this one. So marginal output for this one is 80 divided by the price. The price is 5. It's 5 rand. This gives you how much? 16. When it comes to this one, marginal output is 40 divided by the price. The price of labor is how much? 10 rand. So it gives you how much? 4. We are following this procedure. So the only thing that is changing here. So here is gonna be 70 divided by 5. Here 50 divided by 10. So you take your marginal output for a certain variable divided by the price for a certain variable. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand.
All right. Activity 71, determine the combination of capital and labor that satisfy the equilibrium condition. So guys, what is equilibrium? Remember, equilibrium is where two things are equal. The one from your horizontal axis is equal to the one from vertical axis. In other words, they intersect. So here, if things are equal, which means they derive the same output or they derive the same cost. Let me make an example. From the equation of demand and supply, the point where demand and supply intersect, we classify that point as an equilibrium. So in this case, which means the price of demand and supply are equal. Even the quantity demanded and the quantity supplied are equal. That is where we say we have an equilibrium. So here we are asked to determine the combination of capital and labor that satisfy the equilibrium condition. So what are we looking exactly here? We are looking where our capital is equal to labor. Let's go back. If I do this calculation on this side and I do this calculation on this side, I would get possible answers. Even here, I would get possible answers. But when it's come to my reconciliation, I have to check where I have the same number here on this side and on this side. Let us start with number 1. So here we have 16. Let us go on this side. As you can see, there's no 16 here, of which we can't find the equilibrium on 16. Let us move on. Here we have 14. So guys, remember, we'll find the equilibrium where this number appears here and here. So 14 appears here only. It's not there, which means I move on. Let's check 12. 12 appears here and it doesn't appear here, which means I haven't found any equilibrium. Again, let's check number 10 here. Here I have 10. 10 appears here and here. Let me try to highlight it. I will highlight it in red. So here we have found our equilibrium because this number appears on both sides, which means my capital is equal to labor. Then even here, 8 appears here and here. I have also found another equilibrium, another point where my capital is equal to labor. Let me highlight it. Then number 6. Yes, I have 6 here and 6 here. I found another equilibrium. Then 6 here that appears on both sides. Then let's check 4. Here is 4. And even here it's 4. Guys, So far, do you understand what's going on?
Yes, sir.
No, I don't.
You don't understand.
Yes.
So what you don't understand exactly?
Yeah, I just rejoined. It kicked me out when we're doing land activities, event. Then yeah, I rejoined now.
Okay, let me give you a little summary. So here we are on activity 71. We are determining the combination of capital and labor that satisfy the equilibrium condition. What is equilibrium? I would skip under information because I explained it already. So when you are talking about the equilibrium, two things is have to be equal. So in this case, we are concerned that our P must be equal to L. So here, when they say marginal output of capital divided by the price of capital, they get a certain variable. And here they say marginal output of labor and price of labor. They will get a certain cost or variable. But here we are based on marginal on cost. So this 16 is a cost of producing additional unit, because now here we are on marginal. Remember, the term marginal refers to the additional. So here, since we have calculated our cost here, we'll be looking. So here we are concerned about the equilibrium. Ne? So we're gonna look if this cost appears here and here or not. If this cost appears on both sides, which means we have an equilibrium on the side. Remember, to the demand and supply, if demand and supply intersect, that is where we identify the equilibrium, which means our price of demand is equal to the price of supply, and even the quantity, they are equal because these two things intersect. Ne? Do you understand so far? Ne? Sure, bro. Okay, I don't know what's happened to him. So guys, yeah, let us continue. So as we did here, we are looking if this amount it appears on both sides. If it not, we leave it like that. We take those numbers that appears on both sides. As you can see, a 10 is here and even is here, 4 is here, so 8 is here, 6 is here. So now we have a combination. Eh? So let us start with the number one. So our first combination is 4 and 4. So here we have capital, here we have labor. Ne? So how many units of capital? Okay, let's start here. How many units of labor in our first combination? So here it's 4 units of labor. Hello. So units of labor, it's 70. Sorry. Units of labor is 70. How many units of capital? Units of capital is 180. Then number 2, our second combination 6 and 6. Ne? So how many units of labor here? It's 50. 50 units of labor. How many 6 at this combination of 50 units of labor? Here we have 160 units of capital. So remember, guys, on this side, on this side is labor, on this side is capital. So our third combination is 8 and 8. No, it's 10, it's 10 and 10. So here, how many units of 10 here? Let me check here. So here it's capital. How many units of capital here? So units of capital here. This one is capital. So units of capital is 120. Then how many units of labor? Units of labor, 10. Then our third, note our third, our last combination is 8 and 8. How many units of capital here? Each one 40. How many units of labor? This one, units of labor, it's 30. Guys, do you understand so far? We are not done.
No, sir, no. I don't understand.
I don't understand you.
Guys, where do you lost?
How
do
to
we get
calculate the unit?
the unit?
This unit, ne? 180,
Yes.
Yes.
Here, you see, this one is 180. Let me highlight in yellow. 180. It's a unit of capital on this combination of 4. And guys, we agree that our equilibrium condition is met where our labor is equal to capital. So here we have 4. It appears here and here. So here they are looking, they want to put the unit of capital on that particular combination. So 4 here, they have 180 units of capital, and these 4, they have 70 units of labor. We are just taking the unit where there's an equilibrium condition being met. Even here, you see 6 and 6, but here 6, it's on this side. This side is labor. So how many units of labor? It's 50. 50 units of labor. Then units of capital, 6. Here, how many units of capital? It's 1/6. Guys, are you following? Ne? Even
Yes, sir.
even this one, you can see 10 and 10. But here, which side are we on capital? So how many units of capital here? It's 120. We are just taking your given unit, you put it here, 120. This one on labor, how many units of labor? 10. It's 10. So yeah, even here, 8, you are taking the unit of capital. How many units of capital? 140. It's an copy and paste, guys. How many units of labor here? 8. Then we are done. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now we are looking the cost of combination in rands. What was the price? What was the price of labor or of capital? The price of capital was is 5 rand. Then the price of labor is how much? Is 10 rand. So what are you doing here? So 180 units multiplied by the price of capital, of which is 5 rand. And here, price, units of labor times the price of labor. How much the price of labor is 10 rand. And 180 times 5, you get your answer. 70 times 10, you get your answer. Then you add these two, capital and labor. So it gives you a cost combination in rand, of which is here, it's how much? 1,600. I will need one student to calculate it for me and give me answers. Any volunteer?
Sir, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, the second combination, it's 1,300. Sir,
Yes.
okay.
Our third,
Our third, it's 700.
700. Our fourth, please come again.
$1,000.
It's 1,000. AR Ntonga, can you please unmute your mic and ask your question?
Can I ask, say, how can we find the recordings for this section? They are in Blackboard or?
I would share a link with Simpiwe. So yeah, she'll send the link to you so that you can access the recording.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, guys. Okay, now we are done. Activity 72. Determine least cost combination of capital and labor. What is the least? Which one is more cheap here, guys? Which one is a cheap combination? Hello?
700.
Third combination.
That combination. So in that combination, how many units of capital and how many units of labor? These are units.
120 units of capital and 10 units of labor.
We are done for the day. Any questions?
Sir.
If there's no questions, you are free to leave. Let me stop recording. Mm-mm.